HOA sent cops to evict me from my ranch. They didn't know my brother is the county sheriff. Imagine getting an eviction notice, not from a landlord, but from your homeowners association, with uniformed police officers at your door, all while you're standing on land you've owned for decades. What would your first move be? The sunrise painting the rugged peaks of the Sierra Madre Mountains was a daily masterpiece I never tired of. My ranch, El Sueño, or the dream, was more than just land. It was my inheritance, a legacy passed down through generations. I'd spent my life here, working with my horses, tending to the land, and enjoying the quiet solitude that only true wilderness can offer. My closest neighbors were miles away, and the newly developed Vista Grande Estates, a sprawling luxury community, was a distant glimmer on the horizon. My property lines, established long before any modern subdivision, were clearly marked by a combination of natural rock formations and ancient survey markers. I, Mateo Ramirez, a man of the land and a proud son of this valley, valued my peace and independence above all else. Then came Karen, not with a friendly greeting, but with a full-blown invasion. I was mending a bridle in my tack room when the roar of engines pulled me outside. A caravan of shiny black SUVs, clearly marked Vista Grande Security, pulled up my long, dusty driveway. Several burly men in pseudo-military uniforms hopped out, followed by 2 uniformed county deputies. And at the head of this intimidating procession, clutching a large, official-looking document, was Karen Albright, the notoriously aggressive president of the Vista Grande HOA. "Mr. Ramirez," she shrieked, her voice shrill and confident in the morning air. "We have received, shall we say, overwhelming complaints regarding your substandard property. Your horses are a health hazard. Your barns are dilapidated eyesores. And your entire ranch aesthetic is incompatible with the upscale, modern luxury of Vista Grande Estates. This is a formal eviction notice. You are in direct violation of Vista Grande HOA guidelines for nuisance property and property value depreciation. These officers are here to ensure your immediate compliance. You will vacate the premises within 2 hours." The main conflict, utterly audacious and deeply personal, was laid bare. Karen, armed with baseless accusations, a blind sense of entitlement, and the shocking misuse of law enforcement, was attempting to forcibly remove me from my ancestral home, a property entirely outside her HOA's jurisdiction. Her demands were not only illegal but rooted in a profound disdain for my way of life, believing her manufactured luxury superseded generations of land ownership. Her attitude was one of blatant contempt. A self-appointed dictator convinced her personal preferences granted her the right to evict me from my own land. I stared at the deputies, then at Karen, a slow burn of fury igniting in my gut. "Ma'am," I said, my voice dangerously calm, "you are mistaken. This is El Sueño Ranch. We are not, nor have we ever been, part of your HOA. My property lines were here long before your luxury estates existed. And as for these officers," I paused, my gaze sharp, "they have no jurisdiction here for an HOA matter. I even offered to show them my original deeds, meticulously kept for over a century." Karen, however, merely scoffed, waving a dismissive hand at the deputies. "Officers, he's resisting. He's clearly a squatter, trying to claim land he doesn't own. The HOA has legal precedents for eminent domain when property negatively impacts the community. Proceed with the eviction." Her tone was chillingly arrogant, her eyes holding a glint of perverse pleasure, as if she reveled in her perceived power to command law enforcement. The deputies, clearly uncomfortable, began to approach, looking at each other nervously. Then, my phone vibrated in my pocket. It was a text from my brother, Sheriff Diego Ramirez. "On my way. Heard something about a situation at your place. ETA 15 minutes. The HOA security guards, taking Karen's cue, started to move toward my tack room, clearly intending to secure my belongings. Then, her audacity escalated into a direct, shocking act of destruction. As I watched in horror, one of her security thugs, at Karen's explicit command, took a crowbar to the front door of my prize breeding barn, where my champion mare, Luna, was due to foal any day. The ancient, hand-carved oak door splintered, splintering a piece of my history and threatening my most valuable livestock. It was an act of pure, malicious vandalism, designed to cripple my livelihood and send a clear message: comply or be destroyed. Right after the barn door was smashed, a crucial twist unfolded from an unexpected source. Old Man Santiago, my neighbor from the next valley over, a retired local news cameraman who still carried his trusty camcorder everywhere, happened to be driving by. He'd seen the commotion and pulled over, setting up his camera. He'd captured Karen's explicit command to smash the door, her triumphant smirk as the wood splintered, and her loud, gleeful declaration: "That'll teach him to resist progress." His footage, though a bit shaky, was undeniably clear, with audio to match. The larger consequence of Karen's actions became terrifyingly clear. Luna, my champion mare, wasn't just a beloved animal. She was the linchpin of a state-funded equine therapy program for combat veterans suffering from PTSD. Her lineage was critical for the program's success, and any stress or harm to her or her foal could set back years of vital therapeutic work, impacting countless veterans across the state. Karen's petty act of vandalism, aimed at my ranch, now directly jeopardized a critical public health initiative, elevating her personal arrogance to a matter of profound humanitarian and military significance. Armed with Santiago's irrefutable video evidence, the furious director of the state's veteran therapy program, and my own burning desire for justice, I held my ground. Just as Karen, her face flushed with triumph, was ordering her goons to clear out the horses, a powerful roar echoed down the valley. A convoy of official sheriff's department vehicles, lights flashing, sirens wailing softly, sped up my driveway. At the head of them, stepping out with an aura of quiet authority, was my brother, Sheriff Diego Ramirez. He surveyed the scene: the broken barn door, the smirking HOA security, the uncomfortable deputies, and a triumphant Karen. "Diego," Karen exclaimed, her tone suddenly shifting to sweet manipulation. "Thank goodness you're here. This man is a squatter, causing all sorts of problems for the Vista Grande community. We just need him evicted." She smiled, a predatory gleam in her eyes, assuming her power would prevail. "Actually, Karen," my brother retorted, his voice chillingly calm, "I believe there's been a grave misunderstanding. This is my brother, Mateo Ramirez. And this is his ranch, El Sueño. It's been in our family for over a century, long before your community was even a twinkle in a developer's eye. And as for you," he turned his piercing gaze on her, "you're trespassing. And you've just committed felony property damage." He then turned to the two county deputies. "Officers, you are being manipulated. These individuals have no legal authority here. You are officially relieved of duty from this non-existent eviction. And Ms. Albright, you are under arrest." He signaled Santiago to play the video on a portable monitor he brought. The room, filled with stunned HOA residents who had followed the convoy, watched in horror as Karen's instructions to smash the barn door played out. Karen's face went from disbelief to utter, white-faced terror. "This is outrageous. He's framing me. This is a conspiracy," she shrieked, desperately trying to manipulate the situation, her voice shrill and breaking. She started pointing fingers, trying to blame her officers, her lawyer, anyone but herself. The state director of Veteran Services then stepped forward, his voice cold and unwavering. "Ms. Albright, your reckless actions endangered Luna, a mare vital to our statewide veteran therapy program. The loss of her and her unborn foal would have set back years of work for countless heroes. This is not just property damage. It's an attack on those who served our country." An FBI agent, who had quietly emerged from one of the sheriff's SUVs, stepped forward. "And Ms. Albright, we've also been investigating reports of widespread financial irregularities within the Vista Grande HOA, specifically related to inflated security contracts awarded to shell companies and the misuse of HOA funds for personal enrichment. Your name, Ms. Albright, is at the center of a multi-million-dollar fraud investigation, and we have reason to believe this eviction was merely a pretext to seize valuable water rights associated with this ranch." A nervous murmur rippled through the gathered HOA residents as one longtime board member stammered to the FBI agent. She told us the security upgrades were vital for property values. We had no idea the money was going to her husband's companies in the Caymans." It was a chilling revelation. Karen wasn't just an arrogant busybody. She was a criminal mastermind, using her HOA position to defraud her own residents and illegally seize valuable resources, with the eviction a desperate attempt to grab more assets before her scheme unraveled. A past incident, whispered among the older residents, revealed that Karen had been previously convicted of minor fraud in another state, involving a fake charity. The consequences for Karen Albright were immediate and utterly devastating. She was arrested by Sheriff Ramirez and the FBI agents on multiple charges, including felony property damage, reckless endangerment of livestock, a federal offense due to the research program, operating a fraudulent security organization, impersonating law enforcement, and later, as the full extent of the fraud was uncovered, for massive embezzlement, wire fraud, and racketeering. The Vista Grande Estates HOA was placed under immediate state and federal oversight, its assets frozen, and a full forensic audit exposed tens of millions in stolen funds, a systematic scheme orchestrated by Karen and her network. Her carefully cultivated image as the benevolent community leader shattered into irreparable pieces. The residents she had once intimidated and defrauded now turned on her, furious at being manipulated and exploited, their HOA funds stolen. Her social circles, built on an illusion of wealth and influence, abandoned her completely, unwilling to be associated with such public disgrace. Her vast real estate holdings, her fortune, her status, her perceived power all confiscated as part of the ongoing investigation and subsequent lawsuits. She lost everything, her freedom, her fortune, and her reputation. The ultimate irony was that her audacious attempt to evict me from my ranch led to the complete unraveling of her vast, illegal enterprise. As for El Sueño Ranch, it remained my sanctuary. Luna gave birth to a healthy foal, a symbol of new life and resilience. The sheriff's department helped repair the barn door, and the university offered continued support. The HOA security vehicles were impounded, their uniforms shredded, their fake authority gone. The satisfaction was immense, watching her literal and figurative empire crumble before her eyes, a quiet triumph of genuine authority and unwavering resolve over arrogant pretense and outright criminality. What's your take on this? When someone so brazenly abuses power and attempts to commit grand theft under the guise of community standards, does their complete and utter downfall truly serve justice? Or is there a point where the consequences become too extreme?